Hey there, Sart here, going up against Cerberus Advanced, and this will be the last clear I do of this trial. And this one's a bit special to me as a huge fan of Esther. I always like to try and clear everything I can with Esther being the primary DPS on the team. And these last two trials have not been friendly to Esther, due to the fact that, you know, with the high elemental resists, it often requires you to bring not only a big imperil, but an imperil field to help get the imperils or the elemental resistance down low enough that you can do enough damage to get it done within the turn count. And that's usually the mission you want to strive for, because it comes with the better reward of the killer for the the next trial that's upcoming. And so that's usually an important mission to get done. It was a bit disappointing against Rafflesia, not being able to do it with just Esther. We had to bring a Chizuru along for my Rafflesia clear, and even then it still took a 6-man team to get that one done. Cerberus is not nearly as bad. It's got half the HP that Rafflesia has done, so it's a lot more doable for an Esther team, because the problem that we all know with Esther with her LB field is that it overwrites imperil fields, because her LB field is global, so it affects both sides, both the party side and the enemy side, and that will overwrite any imperil fields that are just on the enemy side. And so that makes it tough for Esther, so you kind of have to rely on just a strong imperil unit. Now, I want to dedicate this clear to Cordrin, and that's who I'm bringing along for the fight, because he's just like me. His love for the Murder Bunny runs deep, and he's always trying to clear everything with Esther like I do. And he was able to do it with Neovision Vaughn that has the 160% fire imperil, and so that kind of encouraged me to see if I could do it with a slightly different team. I don't have Vaughn. So I'm going to bring the poor man's Vaughn, which is my crowned Neovision Rain. So I crowned my Rain a long time ago, when he sort of first came out, because I saw the potential of him being a fire support unit. And I'm just going to show you the 2 skills that I crowned. And so it's pretty expensive. I would not spend 8 crowns to do this. If you haven't already done it, I would not spend 8 crowns just for this trial. It's definitely not worth it. But if you do put 8 crowns into NV Rain, you get these 2 upgraded abilities. Prominent Saver does a 55% fire amp for the whole party. Now, it's only for 2 turns, but for a couple of big bursts, that can really come in handy. Otherwise, you're just stuck with his 25% fire amp. But that'll be fine enough for Cerberus. And then on his Brave Shift form, if you put another 4 crowns into this ability, Extreme Blade, he does a 150% fire imperil. Now, it only lasts for 2 turns. You can use it twice, but that's why we are bringing Kaito along with us, so that we can extend that. And so that way we should get a total of 7 turns with a 150% fire imperil, which should be enough for us to get this job done in 15 turns or less with a 5-man team. So we're going to do an all missions clear with Esther as the primary DPS. Now, it is a bit of a tricky clear. I would not recommend trying this at home unless you're crazy like me and you want to do an Esther clear, or if you just, if these are the best units that you have and you think you can get it done, certainly go for it. But this is really just a point of pride for me, and it's just me having a bit of fun and proving that Esther can handle the latest trials. I'll go over the gear real quick, and then we'll get right to it. All right, so we've got Kaito here. He is going to be doing a bit of chip damage, so I did build him for full-on damage here. So he's got a Magister's Ring for the chain cap up. Spirit Tiger Mask is for the Beast Killer. Tyvus' Spirit just to buff up his LB on certain turns when I might need it. Valued Memories for some more Beast Killer. Lone Swordsman card is there for the Extreme Nova Chaining skill, which will be useful on certain turns to chain with Esther. And his Brave Shift, pretty much the exact same thing, right? So he'll have He'll have 300% Beast Killer and 300% LB damage, but really he's not going to do significant damage. It's just that sort of little bit of extra to make sure that we get this done in the turn count. Sylvie is going to be our provoke unit, so we needed to make sure we bulk her up. That's why she's got Crimson Furosode there to get the HP boost. She's already fairly bulky on the defense and spirit stats, so that didn't take too much. Dancer's Diadem for the passive provoke. Blizzard Orbs for some counters when she does get hit. And then just as much lightning resistance as I could give her, because she will be taking that 800% lightning imperil, so she needs to be able to survive that. Now you notice I've only built her with 400%. She does a 200% buff, so she's still going to be 200% imperiled to lightning, but she's bulky enough that she can survive a couple of the on the turns when she does have that 800% imperil, so she should be good to go. My Esther is going to be pulling double duty as the physical cover tank. I could potentially forego having the tank at all, but it's a bit risky, and this strategy, the strategy that I came up with, allows me to comfortably get everything done without the risk of anybody dying, and we still get it done in the turn count. So yeah, so Esther's going to be doing double duty in her normal form. She's of course wearing storm kickers so that she absorbs lightning. Otherwise she is just full on damage. She's got full on killers and LB damage. I gave her high class dagger for the LB fill because on certain turns she's going to need to shift back to her brave shift form and put up her physical cover, which requires 45 LB crysts. And the problem is I need to do this on a turn right after she's used her LB, so she'll have 0 LB. But with this ability right here, I've figured out a way to make sure to guarantee that I get 45 LB crysts on that turn, so I never have to worry about it. And that ability makes sure that I'll be able to do that. In her Brave Shift form, nothing too fancy here, but she does have Blizzard Orb for counters, Cypher's Coat for counter up, as well as Looming Wrath just to increase the counter chance. Storm Kickers, of course, for Lightning Absorb. Runda's Shield is there just to give us some mitigation on the first couple turns, because we won't have any form of general mitigation to start the battle, and so that's what Runda's Shield is there for. Otherwise, she doesn't need too much, because she'll only spend, I think, she'll only be in her Brave Shift form, I think maybe 2 or 3 turns total throughout the fight, so she doesn't need too much in this form. As for Rain, he is basically just built with elemental resists, mainly to fire, because Cerberus, there's a chance, like on even turns, Cerberus does an AoE magic attack, and if it's the fire magic attack, that comes with a fire damage over time. And in the second half of the fight, once we pass the 50% threshold, Cerberus will do an AoE 400% imperil to fire, ice, and lightning. And so that fire damage over time, if he does that, especially in the second half of the fight, that could be very dangerous for Rain. And we want to make sure Rain stays alive. The other resists I'm not too worried about. The lightning will be totally covered by Sylvie, and the ice, I'm not too concerned about it. Again, Sylvie will handle it, and those only do the damage on that turn, but the fire one does damage over time, so I got to make sure he's pretty buffed up against fire damage. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, just some bulk. I gave him the Leave Things to Me card, just that was mainly for the imperil, the fire imperil on the first turn. Same thing in his Brave Shift form. He's not going to do any kind of appreciable damage here. He is strictly here as a fire support unit to provide the amps, the imbues, and the imperil. That is all he's doing here. He'll do a little bit of chaining with his LB on certain turns just to help out Esther. But yeah, otherwise he's just here as a support unit. Cordron's Bunny is also built for full-on damage, couple of pretty much all the cow gear, and then just enough Beast Killer. He's got Wilk's Vision card for the higher base attack, and so he should be 300% killers, 300 LB damage, ready to rock and roll. All right, so that's the gear. Let's see how we get this done in 15 turns or less. All missions. All right. So first turn, we're just going to go ahead and shift Esther out of Brave Shift because she auto covers for 3 turns. So we're good for the moment on the cover. And we are just going to go ahead and set up for a burst next turn. Sylvie's going to go ahead and start by setting up some mitigations. Sure, let's do, we'll do Elemental Petals for the Fire, Ice, Lightning. We'll go ahead and do Elemental Vines for the magic mitigation as well, because we will take a magic damage on the following turn. And then Compassionate Knight, that's just to put up all the ailment resistances, stop charm resistance, all of that jazz. All right, Kaito is just going to start with Crashing Waves, followed by Deep Submersion and Destabilizing Form. Rain is going to go ahead and do the Fire Imbue, that's Blaze Saber. Rising Saber does the 25% amp. I'm going to save Prominence Saber for a future burst. Rain is also useful because he does bring Beast Killer, so it's 100% Beast Killer for the team, so that is useful, and he's going to go ahead and use that now. Okay. Alright, so we are just going to go ahead and get set up. Alright. So this damage will be irrelevant. This is just getting things set up. Ooh, whopping 13 million. Wow. Alright. So yeah, you see Esther tanks it like a champ, no problem. So we're just going to do this first LB. I'm not expecting it to do too much, maybe about 10% HP off the boss here. Rain is going to shift and do his LB for a slightly higher fire imperil. And Kaito is going to do his LB just to chain it up. Sylvie will... We're going to do it over here. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do her LB. Actually, no, I think I'm going to save that. I'm going to save her LB. So we're going to do Paladin's Offense. Actually, we don't even need to do that, do we? I don't think we even need to bother with that. Yeah, I mean, I could do her LB just to do a little bit of extra damage right now. No, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Because I think I'll be able to get it filled for the next one. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do her LB. That'll just give us that little bit of extra punch. Because yeah, when you're bumping up against that turn count, you want to make sure you're getting it done as quickly as possible. All right. So I'll set off Rain and Kaito first, followed up by the Esthers. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, about 10%. Okay, pretty much what I expected. All right, so now we have to set up Esther's cover. All right, she does get one more turn on the auto cover, but I want to go ahead and take this turn to set it up. It's just the way that I figured out. It's just the way that I figured the strategy. So you see, we need 45 LB Crists. So let's go ahead and just have Sylvie. All right, so triple casting her Clever Paladin Strike does 30 LB Crists. All right, now you can see that's not quite enough. Oh, actually that was enough. Hey, I got lucky on the LB drops. Usually it's not enough. All right, if I didn't have it filled up enough, my friend Esther here, her normal attack does an AoE 5 LB fill, and her normal attack hits twice. So that's 10 LB Chris for the whole team. So I would just use that on this turn if I needed to fill that up. Since I don't need to do it, I am going to take this opportunity to actually put up Storm Guardian for just some higher general mitigation, and that's mainly for Sylvie to make sure she doesn't take too much damage. What I'm going to do now is, so on this one I'll do electromagnetic shield. This is going to do Esther's Omni cover. However, I'm going to use Storm Defender to erase the Omni cover and make it just a physical cover, but it leaves the lightning absorb on the team for 3 turns. So everyone will absorb lightning damage for 3 turns. And that's also important to keep Sylvie alive. All right, so we'll do electromagnetic shield, Storm Defender, and energizing bunny. Okay. And so on this turn, we're going to save that extreme blade on this turn. All right. Kaito's gonna do Tyvis's spirit. Okay. So I don't think we need to do anything with. I think he can just guard on this turn, and we'll do the fire imperil next turn. Okay. Yep, and that should be what I want to do. All right, so this way next turn Kaito will be able to do a little bit of extra damage. Again, just that sort of extra chip damage to make sure that we get this done in the turn count. All right, so Kaito's going to shift and do his normal form LB because it is the stronger LB, and it does triple bolting strike frames. Now we're going to do Extreme Blade for the 150% Fire Imperil. And the Esthers will both now shift back into normal form and set up for a burst next turn. Okay. Sylvie can now, she can actually come back to her normal form. We'll do Paladin's Offense. This is just to give her a little bit more LB fill. And we're going to re-up her, her mitigations as well. Okay. All right, so we should be good. This might do like 4 or 5% off the HP. So we should have, yeah, we've got a 60% down to 60% resistance now. So that's as good as it's going to get, right? So we've got the 150% imperil. That is as good as we're going to get. All right. So let's go ahead and see what we do. Only 87. That's all right. That's all right. We're good. We're good. All right. So, yep, we all absorb that. Nice. Okay. So now we can shift back. All right. Now we can do that prominent saber for the higher fire amp. All right, so I'm going to do Blaze Saber, Rising Saber, and Prominence Saber. We don't have the Beast Killer up and running just yet, but that's all right. Now you'll see it still has the Fire Imperil, and it says it's gonna last for 2 more turns, which is nice. So I'm going to save Kaito's Undulating Wave ability for next turn. We're going to go ahead and have him use Blazing Red Flash, just to chain with the Esthers. All right. Yeah, I was hoping Sylvie would have her LB up on this one. Come on, more LB drops. Yeah, man, what is happening there? Okay, not to worry. We'll use it on the next burst. So instead, we'll just go ahead and have her do Compassionate Night. We'll set up her regen, and we'll do the Fire, Ice, Lightning buffs one more time. All right, Esther's will burst. All right, I'm hoping this one will do a fairly good chunk of damage. We're gonna find out. Okay, what am I? Yep. All right. Let's see what this does. All right. All right, we're doing all right here. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. Now Kaito is going to do, all right, so it still has that 150% fire imperil, so now Kaito is going to do undulating waves. All right, this is going to extend that fire imperil for another 3 turns. It also extends all the breaks for another 3 turns, so we're going to do that. We'll do crashing waves just to set that one up. Actually, no, we don't need to do that. We can do crashing waves. Because you should have, yeah, we'll just do, yeah, why not? We'll do crashing waves and then deep submersion. All right, Sylvie. All right, just to make sure that her LB is up and ready, we're just going to do some triple casting clever paladin strike here. We are going to save the beast breaker and prominent saber for next turn, but I will go ahead and re-up the imbue and the lower amp on this turn, just to make sure we've always got that going, so our Esthers don't have to worry about ever losing their fire imbue. All right, let's see. I'm actually interested to see if... All right, good. She actually has her LB. Okay, so never mind. I'm going to come back here and again just re-up mitigations, so we don't have to worry about those. All right. Esther's will just set up for one more burst before we do another cover for her physical cover. Okay. And then she can use her LB next turn. Okay. I think we're good. All right, so this next burst should be pretty big, because we're also gonna do the 55% amp, and we're gonna apply the beast killer on this one. So this one should hurt. So we'll do blaze saber again for the imbue, prominent saber, and beast breaker. Sylvie will shift and do her LB. Alright, and probably should have re-upped Kaito's LB on this one, because we don't have we don't have his LB up and running yet. That's okay. That is okay. Alright, we'll just do some chaining. Okay, should be good to go. Yeah, there we go. There's a big one. All right, now we're looking good. Okay, so at this point, all the damage all the physical damage turns into lightning elemental damage. So Esther is definitely good to go, but the rest of the team is in peril. So we do have to make sure that Esther continues to cover. So here we go. We're going to shift back. We are going to have Sylvie do triple clever paladin strike. Okay. For that 30 LB fill, we'll check and see if that's enough. Yep, not quite enough. All right, so here we'll use my friend bunny. That's okay. Use the friend bunny to do the LB fill there, and that should give us enough. Boom. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing we did last time. Electromagnetic shield for the lightning absorption for the team. Storm Defender erases the Omni cover, and then energizing bunny. All right, so now, how many more turns do we have on the Imperil? We should still be good on that one for 2 more turns. Perfect. So Rain is just going to keep applying the fire imbue and the amp Again, just to make sure we always have that, because in his shift form he doesn't have access to it, and he is a trance shifter, so I don't want to get like locked out of being able to come back and do the fire imbue, because you have to wait 2 turns to shift him every time you shift, so got to make sure we re-up that every time. Alright, so now Kaito is going to do Tyvus' spirit, because he'll do another sort of like a, you know, chip damage on the following turn. And yeah, that should be good to go. Okay. Nice. All right, we are looking good. We are in good shape. Esther shifts back. That's the last time we'll have to do the cover, because we should finish the fight before we need to do it again. And even if we don't, we should still be able to survive long enough to finish the fight. All right. We have, just double checking. Yep, 1 more turn on that fire resistance. So we're gonna save that imperil for next turn. So again, we're just gonna re-up our fire imbue. Okay. Sylvie. Sylvie's going to. All right, we'll have her do Paladin's offense. Set up the mitigations again. All right. I think, yeah, we'll do her regen. Okay. Kaito's going to shift. Do his shift LB. All right. Let's see how we do. Alright, that was a decent little chunk. Way to go, Kaito. You're not totally worthless. Alright, so we got the ice magic attack. That's good. That's good. And that's honestly, that's the worst. So that's the worst, like, single damage that the team will ever take. Because, you know, we've got the big lightning boost thanks to Sylvie, and so yeah, that was fine. That was fine. Okay, gonna do another burst. Okay, Kaito's gonna do Blazing Red Flash to chain it up with the Esters. Rain is now going to shift and do Extreme Blade for that fire imperil. So doing it on this turn means we should get 2 more LBs with the 150% imperil, and so that's very, very important. You see, it has no imperil now, so it's registering non-elemental as the highest imperil that we have. So this is going to be necessary to get this fight done. All right, Sylvie is going to shift and do her LB. And yeah, that should. Okay. All right, should be good to go. This should be a fairly big one. We don't have our beast killer anymore. That's worn off already, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so we don't have our beast killer anymore, but that's all right. This should still be a pretty big chunk taken out. I'm hoping to get it down to maybe around 20% here. We'll find out. Yeah, only 23. That's all right. All right, I think we can still get this done. No problem. All right, so you see Esther absorbing all that lightning damage thanks to her storm kickers. Good to go. All right, Sylvie's going to shift back. All right, just to make sure everyone is good and no one's going to die, we'll re-up. We're going to do the burgeoning defense on this one. because I'm hoping we're going to get this done on turn 14, so this should last us long enough. And just to make sure, it's sort of like a safety net. We'll do Compassionate Night again just to make sure that no one gets any kind of ailments or stop or charm or anything like that. Okay. Yep, she should be good to do that. And we'll just do Crashing Wave, Deep Submersion, Destabilizing. Don't think he needs to do anything. Forget what the imperil is on this one. It's only 120. Yeah, it's pretty weak. But I might have him do it again just for some LB fill for everybody, mostly for Sylvie and Kaito. Because I'd like to get Kaito's LB up next turn in order to chain with Esther, if at all possible. Alright, Esther's will just set up for another burst. Alright, so we should have that big fire imperil for one more turn. Yep. Alright, so we'll get it for the next burst on the next turn. And then we'll be stuck with the 135% imperil on Rain's LB. Alright, so we got to make these count. Okay, here we go. Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? I think so. All right. So yeah, so Rain's LB, we're gonna do that one just to make sure that we have an imperil for the remainder of the fight, because I have had a couple of times where, like on the kill turn, which has usually been turn 14, on the kill turn I've come up and there's no imperil and I get screwed because I shifted back and I can't shift yet. So anyways, point being, we're gonna do Rain's LB just to make sure we have some imperil on the boss for the kill turn on turn 14. Let's see, Sylvie here is just gonna do, we'll just do triple Paladin Strike. Okay, so we should be good on like all of our resistances and our mitigations. I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, 2 turns left on that. Wait, do we not have any magic mitigation? Okay, no, we can't have that. Alright, so I'm gonna come back. Just gonna re-up magic mitt, physical mitt, and Paladin's Resolve. Alright, so Kaito's just gonna have to do some chaining. I was gonna try and get him to do his LB, but that's alright. We have Rain to chain it up with Esther. Okay, so Esther should get all of her hits in. Alright, so we should be good to go on this one. Bosses still has the big imperil. We don't have our beast killer, but that's alright. We're still gonna get this one done, I think. Oh, yikes, man, it's gonna be close. Oh, yikes. Okay. Yeah, man, we are cutting this one close. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. I think we're still gonna get it done though, don't worry. Alright, so that was the last one with the big imperil. You see now the boss has 75% fire resistance. So yeah, we have got to be very, very we basically just got to go all out here at this point. Alright, so fire, amp, and the beast killer. Alright, because the next LB kind of has to be the one, you know? Alright, so Sylvie can now shift. I want to try and get her LB up and running for next turn, if at all possible. Actually, you know what? I'm even going to Now, you know what? I'm gonna... I might actually just go ahead and use I've Got Your Back on her just to make sure she has it, because I really want it for next turn. Yep, I think I'm gonna do that. Oh, you can't use it on her. She can't use it on herself. All right, that's good to know. Okay, so we'll just do triple clever paladin strike. I just want to make sure she's got her LB ready for next turn. Yeah, so we can have, what we can do is we can have, because I don't think we need to worry about, we don't need to worry about breaks. Yeah, it should be, it's good on breaks. You know what? I was gonna say you could do his LB. But yeah, I think I'm gonna play it safe here. Okay, yeah, Sylvie. So everyone's just gonna chain it up on this turn, basically. Yep, that's all we need to do. Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna get this one done on turn 14. It's been the kill turn for a lot of the test runs that I've done. So I think we're gonna get this one done here. All right, moment of truth, right? Oh gosh, Sylvie. I need that LB. I should have given Rain something to fill people's LB. All right, I'm just gonna try and get lucky on some LB drops here. Oh no! Oh man, you're killing me. You're killing me. All right. That's all right. That's all right. I don't think we're gonna need it, and even so, we have one more turn. If I come up short, if I'm stuck at 1%, we've got one more turn. It still has. Let me see. Oh no, all those breaks are gonna expire, aren't they? All right, so I'm gonna have him do his LB. Yeah, we've still got one more turn to kill it, and yeah, I mean, I would like to get it done on turn 14, but if we come up short, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. That's hilarious. Okay, so we are just gonna do, again, just sort of a safety net here. Paladin's offense, followed by Compassionate Knight, and we'll do our elemental boosts here. My gosh, so close, so close. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and let's just get this done so we don't have to worry about it, yeah? All right, here we go. Oh yeah, done. Boom. Eat it, Cerberus. Whew. Yeah, buddy. Man, I tell you, Envy Rain's been he's been very helpful on a lot of clears, and this one is definitely one of my favorites there. So, whew. All right, I can say Esther took down Cerberus. We'll check the damage spread. Yeah, you see the Esthers. Esthers did the majority of the damage, obviously. Kaito just bringing in that extra bit of chip damage to make sure, just to make sure that we get it done in the turn count. So there's an all missions clear using only Esthers as your main DPS. So proof that it can be done. You don't need imperil fields for this one. And yeah, so that was pretty exciting. I feel pretty good about that one. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'm very excited about Cal tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned. I'll be doing my usual sort of like initial clear teams where I'll do a few different team compositions to just do like, you know, your straight level 99 clears with no mods or anything. And you'll definitely see Esther in there for sure. She's gonna love the next Cal boss since it's both Stone and Reaper. It sounds like it's gonna do a lot of physical damage, so I'm excited to utilize Esther as a tank. in the next one. I'll definitely do some clears with Golbez too. I'm loving Neovision Awakened Golbez, so I'm sure Golbez and Esther are going to be teaming up on this next boss, and so look forward to that. And thank you guys so much for your support, and I will see you on the other side.